Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Kat's Cooking Kitchen. If you were watching a video I posted yesterday, it was called a blueberry crustless pie, and it's over here, what's left of it. This is it. As you can see, it is heavy in blueberries. It's very good. It tastes very good. But I would like to have a little more cake with my fruit in it. It's delicious the way it is, and if you like it that way, then you're good. So today I've already pre-greased. It won't be a pie anymore. It'll be a kind of a cake. But I pre-sprayed with a non-stick cooking spray, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to 1.5 the recipe for the cake part. I'm not going to double it, but I'm going to 1.5 it. So let's get started and let's try it. If anybody wants this recipe, I may forget to post it, and on YouTube I haven't learned how to add it to my posts. Anybody knows how to do that? Let me know. But I can on my Facebook. And it's Kat's Cooking Kitchen, and it's the same thing on Facebook and YouTube. Kat's Cooking Kitchen. If you ever want a recipe for something that I've posted, just message me. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you want that. So here we go. We're going to do this, and yesterday we used 1 cup of sugar. That's the original recipe. So today we are going to use 1.5 cups of sugar. Now that retains like 1/4 cup. It will be used later, but in the cake batter itself we used 1.5 cups today. And the flour was the same. I'll make sure my flour's not packed. Level it off. 1 cup of flour also, and another 1/2 cup of flour. So in the original recipe, it was 1 cup of flour. So we're adding an extra 1/2 cup today. And that reminds me, I didn't melt enough butter. When you start changing your ingredients, I was prepping, and I forgot to add an extra 1/2 stick of butter to my melted butter. So we'll just do that right now. I got my oven on. It's preheating. Okay. And I will be short an egg also. So let's put that in there and let that melt. 30 seconds. Get out 1 extra egg there. The recipe calls for 2 eggs, so if you want to half it again, you just add 1 more egg. And I'll tell you, this cake is really pretty good. It might even taste good doubled, but you'd want to add a little more fruit. Okay, so now we have our 1.5 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, and we're going to add our cinnamon. I believe cinnamon was 1 teaspoon. Yes. So, oh, here they are. It's about 1/2. Now we want to get a full one. I'm almost out. Oh, that's going to be plenty of cinnamon. Now, yesterday, when I made this, we used blueberries. Today, I don't have blueberries, because that was my reason for making it yesterday, was to use up my blueberries. So today, I had a couple apples left over from a recipe I made. And I I think the 2 apples diced up are going to be plenty fine for this recipe. So it's going to be an apple crustless pie, so to speak. So we'll just call it an apple cake. Okay. Done with our flour. Now we need salt, and salt was like a 1/4 teaspoon. So this is a teaspoon measure. And I'll just fill up about halfway. So I actually doubled the salt, which on that small amount really won't matter. And especially with the apples. Apples could use salt where blueberries really don't need them. So let me move my sugar back here that I'm going to need. And was there something else that went in here? Salt. Nope, that's the dry ingredients. Okay. So here we go. That's a little warm. We're going to go. And now with the blueberries, it called for almond and vanilla extract, but I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to add extra vanilla. And the vanilla was 1 teaspoon. Where'd it go? Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a generous 2 teaspoons. I think that'll be enough. Because I used 1.5 teaspoons of extract yesterday. So I think we're good to go on the extracts. And, oh. Okay. Now we want to be careful that the butter isn't too warm, and it doesn't really feel like it is anymore. Because you don't want your eggs to scramble when you put them in. There we go. I'm just checking over my ingredients to make sure I didn't forget anything, and everything's in there except my eggs. Okay. My hands. I got one more egg. Okay, last egg. We'll get that mixed up real well. And since our butter wasn't too warm, we didn't get any hard pieces or scrambled pieces of egg in here, which would not be good. You do not want pieces of scrambled egg in your cake. So I'll just give that a really good mix up. And I'm done with this. I think. Move on to a silicone spoonula. It's concave, so you can use it like a spoon or a spatula. I believe they came from Pampered. Nope, this came from Rubbermaid, but we call them spoonulas. Okay, now all we have to do is mix in our flour and cinnamon and seasoning. Okay. Oh, behave. My little camera hog dog comes out here snooping around in case I, spill anything good on the floor. She's out of luck today. Not doing anything too messy. And I am messy when I cook, generally. But not so much today. Okay, so this is a little more batter than we had yesterday, and I'm hoping it's enough. I'm not sure measure-wise how much apple I'm going to get. The recipe for the blueberries was 2 1/4 cup of blueberries. As you can tell, that was a lot of blueberries. If you want to make the regular crust and you wanted a little less fruit in it, I would go down to 1.5 cups. That's just what I would do. But today we doubled the cake, and I'm going to, I guess I don't have to worry about that since I'm going to be my good friend Deb Fisher reminded me one day, because I was in a hurry, that if I put a towel under my cutting board, oh, you can't even see. You put a towel under your cutting board, it won't slide. If you don't, it'll go all over the place. It's a really handy hint, especially if you're using a knife. So there you go. Now, let's see. Okay, I'm going to quarter my apples. Then I'm going to peel the skins off and take the seeds out. Then I'm going to chunk them up and throw them in there, and I'll be right back when we're about ready for it to go in the oven. So hang in there, won't be gone very long. Hey, welcome back. We're just about ready. Got 2 little cubes of quarters of my apples to do. You can see I've peeled them and cut them into quarters. Then I just slice them. That one got a little heavy. Okay, and then I just dice them up into small pieces. They are slippery, so watch your knife skills, people. Come here, Daisy. You want it? Come here. Come back here. Come back here so they can see you. Now catch. Good girl. She loves apples, and she can smell them. And when I started peeling and chopping apples, she was right here at my feet. So I always give her a little treat, whether it's a carrot or a green bean or whatever I'm working with. She always gets a little bite. Okay, that's, whoops, got to use my little handy dandy scraper on that one. Okay, there you go. We have got all our apples in here, and since they're apples, I didn't save any. I hope you can see that that cake part is really, really thick, but the fruit is going to put out juice as it cooks, so I'm not too concerned about it. I hope my pan isn't too big. I just decided to put it in my small Pyrex. I'm sorry, Daisy. All I got's peels. I don't think I have any more hunks of apple. Nope. Here's a little hunk. There you go. That's it. That's all you get. Okay, so let's get this in the oven. Now, the other one baked for 40 minutes. I checked it at 35, and it was just about there, but I stuck it in for an additional 5 minutes for safety's sake. It was perfect. So we'll see. Now remember, I have my pan pre-greased with a non-stick cooking spray. And like I said, this stuff is thick. And what this is going to remind me of, as I was making it, I used to make a German apple cake. And this smells, and the batter on that was thick like this too, so it's going to be pretty dang close, if not like a extra close German chocolate, or German chocolate, no, German apple cake. So now all I have to do is get it mushed out. See, it doesn't need me to put any apples in the top. Just trying to hopefully get it even, and I think as it starts warming up, it could level itself a little bit. So if I'm close, okay, so now here, get the good stuff off of there. Okay, and again with my towel, my sticky fingers here. Just realized I forgot to take off all these rings I wear, and so now I try to take them off before I start my videos. So here we go. A crustless apple pie, so to speak. We're going to put it in the oven. We'll test it at about 35 minutes, see where it's at, and when it's ready to come out of the oven, we're going to turn the video back on and let you see the finished product. And I think we're really going to love this one too. So I did this video because I wanted you to see how you can change a recipe you've already watched me do and how I changed it up. I changed the fruit, I added more batter for the cake, and that's all there is to it. Gotta be able to do a little math though, and please, and remember, I've done this, I think every cook has done this, that you'll be doubling a recipe or something, and when you bake it, you think, what's wrong with that? And you realize that you forgot to double one thing, like flour, or maybe the sugar. So, now, it calls for a sprinkle of sugar. This is a tablespoon I'm using right now. And I don't think it needs more than, see, the original recipe called for 2 tablespoons. And I don't think it takes much more than maybe a tablespoon and a half at the most. And that's on a little bigger. What's out there, Daisy? Is the deer back? Oh, Bella. Okay, there we go. We are prepped and ready. Sugar coated for the top. A nice little crunch on it. Bella, hush, hush. I'll get your collar. I'll get your collar. No. There we go, folks. Hang on, I'll be right back. After I kill the dog. Hi, welcome back. Our cake is done. And I can't wait to try it. How brown and pretty it is. That was 35 minutes. And this is like a 7 by 11 Pyrex dish. And again, the cake part was 1.5 times the recipe. And the fruit, I would guess, was probably around 2 cups. And it's diced apples today. So let's get brave. And we will try just a little bite out of the corner, and it's going to be hot because it just came out of the oven. I should have let it cool down just a little bit, I guess. Okay, can you see? Okay. Here, there's a little piece of apple. Make sure I get apple in it. Not sure. There it is. Can you see the steam? It's hot, y'all. It's hot. So, give me a second, and I'll get brave enough to put it in my mouth. Oh, it smells so good. It's very hot. And when it's really hot, it's hard to taste something, but it's got the cinnamon flavor and the apple. And I almost, instead of plain sugar on top, like I did, according to the recipe, that's what you do. But with apples, I think I would use cinnamon sugar over the top. Give it just a little more pop of cinnamon. So if you don't like blueberries, make yourself one of these. Apple crustless pie. Or crustless apple pie, but it's, it's a baking dish. So call it what you want. I call it delicious. So I hope you enjoyed the new version of the blueberry crustless pie that I made yesterday. And now you can see this today. And that's all I have right now. Maybe this is Wednesday, the 8th of September. And maybe tomorrow I'll come up with a recipe to try. I've got so many ideas in my head, and I just can't get to them all at the same time. So as ingredients are available at my house, I will continue to make hopefully different dishes and stuff that you would like to see. Easy meals, nothing I make takes very much time. So, you know, here we had 35-minute cooking time on this. That's nothing. And I think we had about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes or so into making it. So, enjoy your evening. It's sun shining. Our hummingbirds are going crazy because it's getting that time of year. They're getting stocked up, but they're still fighting. When it gets really close to when they leave, I can have 4 hummingbirds feeding at the same time. They just don't even fight each other. As long as they can get something to drink, they're there. So right now, things are still pretty plentiful for them, I guess, because they're still battling over, you know, 2 of them even being at the feeder right now. But we do love to watch all our birds and everything. One of these days I'll have to show you our backyard. Show you our... I'd love to catch a deer out there one day while I was doing a video, because then I could take you over to the door and show you. We get beautiful deer out here, and just love it when they bring their babies in their yard. One day, I don't know, the does must have been right inside the wood tree line there, because you can't see them for all the overgrowth and stuff. But 2 little fawns were out here just grazing on the grass in our yard, and they just were so cute. Like they didn't have a problem in the world. They're just going around eating grass out of the yard, and just slowly moved around and then walked back into the woods when they were done. So much fun. Love being able to see wildlife. And if I can't live out in the country and I have to have a city address, this is the best house to have, because I do have a wooded area behind my house. It's all full of, you know, rabbits and squirrels and raccoons and deer, the big deer. So I've never seen a buck, except the babies. You can tell when they're little button bucks is what they're called. And you can see the start of the horns on them sometimes, but to see a full-grown deer with his antlers, not over here on our side of the woods over here, but they got to be around somewhere. So we do love our wildlife. And enjoy your evening. Hope you have fun. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it, everybody. Till next time.